Welcome to Plutus, and today we are covering SNI mechanism. Now, for most of you who are doing your class 12th, you have already heard about SN1 reaction mechanism and SN2, which refers to your unimolecular substitution reactions and bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions. Now, SNI is an exception to it. It does not follow either SN1 or SN2, but the thing is, SNI reaction exhibit similar properties to SN1 reaction. For example, so whichever the characteristics of SN1 reaction that we already know, your SNI reaction also gives us similar result. But why we are not calling SNI as SN1? What is the difference between them? Well, the first thing, SNI reaction do not involve carbocation. But this statement is in itself is incomplete. The thing is that SNI reaction do involve carbocation, but not in the first step. There do exist some steps in which carbocation exists, but in SN1 reaction the carbocation occurs in the very first step of the reaction, while in SNI it occurs close to the end of the reaction. Although there are not many reactions that are known to us that follow SNI mechanism. So the only probable example we have is your Darzon's process. So now we need to define, if it is the only known example, what is Darzon's process? So Darzon's process is actually a reaction mechanism that is used in the preparation of alkyl halides from alcohols, using alcohol when reacts with SOCl2, which also goes by the name of thionyl chloride, and produces alkyl halide SO2, which is a gas that escapes out, and another gas HCl, which also escapes out. Since most of the byproduct in this reaction involved are gases, that's why Darzon's process is actually one of the best methods that we have for the generations of alkyl halide from alcohols. Because since these products are lost to the surroundings simply by opening the container or the vessel, we get a pure alkyl halide with no other byproducts or any side reactions. So now let's try to explain the reaction mechanism that it follows. And this mechanism will also explain what is actually SNI mechanism. So first thing, if you have alcohol here, ROH, will have S double bond O Cl. Here, chlorine being a good leaving group, oxygen being highly electronegative, pull the electron density from the hydrogen, Cl gets removed and it attacks the electrophilic sulfur which exists in +6 oxidation states, and it forms ROS double bond OCl. So here you can see this is the first step of the reaction and there is no carbocation intermediate that is formed here. So, and we have already removed one of our byproduct HCl here. Next is, going for the next step, we have here Cl being a good leaving group gets leave, and oxygen having its lone pair try to fulfill the positive charge that is generated on the sulfur after removal of Cl by its lone pair, and it forms ROCl. double bond S positive, double bond O, sorry, not S, but it's the sulfur that's actually electropositive. So in order to stabilize itself, now the oxygen has to make choice whether to break the bonds from the carbon side or the sulfur side. Since sulfur side it is already having a double bond, what it does is it pulls the electron density from the alkyl group and removing SO2 as the gas. And this is the very first time after 3 steps when you finally are getting your carbocation. After generation of the carbocation, what we do? Here, the chloride ion that you removed in the second step of the reaction, it reacts back with the carbocation and gives us alkyl chloride. So now, with this mechanism, we have proved that SNI reaction can exhibit the characteristics of an SN1 reaction. Simply why? Because it has carbocation intermediate, but it is not entirely an SN1 reaction, because the carbocation that is produced in this reaction is not in the RDS step of the reaction. So this one specific difference separates SNI reaction from the SN1 reaction, and there are not many known examples of SNI reactions. So now what we have proved here. So in this class we have talked about the difference of SNI reaction, why is it important, and the reaction mechanism. I hope this would have cleared all your doubts regarding SNI reaction mechanism and what it is. In case of still any doubts that you have, you can add it to the comment section and we'll get back to you. Is there any specific topic that you want us to make the video? Please also add it to the comment section and we'll get back to you. Thank you for joining us today. That's all for now.